Morning, I'm Louise Warren and we're talking today about CPD. Okay, so CPD is an essential part of the assessor role and it's important that you maintain and prove evidence of your continuing professional development. Without keeping your knowledge and skills current, how can you teach others? Changes in industry and modern technology and working methods mean things can change without us even realising. So why do we log CPD? Well, it's important to show your managers, IQAs or regulators that you are up to date with the subject areas in which you assess. If you think about some typical subject areas, say for example business admin, there's been massive changes in recent years, things that we don't really think about. Say for example things like online meetings, Zoom, Teams, relatively unheard of a few years ago, but now a massive part of the industry and part of assessing. Okay, so some training qualifications might show this logo to show they're CPD accredited. This means those courses have met certain standards. But you don't always have to use CPD accredited courses. Okay, so this is an example of a typical CPD log template, and a copy of this is in the library on VQ Manager if you want to access it. So on here, the assessor has logged the date that they did an activity, the activities and outcomes, the evidence to confirm, and then they've reflected on how the activity has made them a better assessor or IQA. And then they've mentioned the hours covered, so the hours they've spent on that activity. So in this example, the assessor attended a skills workshop on data protection and GDPR. They've put the certificate in their personnel file, and they've explained that GDPR is linked to the key skills and behaviours for the subjects in which they assess, in this example business admin, and they've explained how it links and how it makes them be a better assessor. Okay, so there's a couple of ways in which you can gather CPD evidence. So this can be training, reading or research, but also industry experience or on-the-job practical skills. And most training providers will expect you to gain a mixture of both CPD methods. So some general rules for CPD. Every organisation is different in what they'll set for suitable hours for CPD. Say, for example, a standard might be 35 hours a year, with 10 as formal training and the rest coming from industry experience. So CPD might be needed handed in on a specific date to your IQA or manager to check. So you can keep one CPD log for all your subjects, but it's often better if you have subject-specific CPD logs. Try to remember to add a little bit as you go along to your CPD log. It's very difficult to remember 12 months later what you've learned. So if you add a little bit every month, you always keep on top of it. Okay, so your manager or IQA will check your CPD log around about annually to ensure compliance. You need suitable CPD hours to be evidence, and on and off the job training is important too. It needs to be related to the key skills and behaviours for the subject you're teaching or assessing, and you need to spell out the obvious in terms of links from what you've done to the assessment plan or the standard that you're working towards. You can put on the top of your CPD log a list of your skills and qualifications, and this helps spell out to a reviewer, IQA, Ofsted or Ofqual, so they can see at a glance that your skills are suitable to teach or assess in that area. If your CPD log does not meet the required standard, then you are not a qualified assessor to teach that subject. And that means you're not meeting the company's policies and procedures, and your company aren't meeting their obligations to awarding bodies or regulatory bodies. Okay, so top tips: update your CPD log once a month, and don't forget to add any reading or research or any training sessions you attend, even courses like this one. So as always, there's lots of different ways of doing your assignment. You can complete a written assignment, you can complete a PowerPoint, or you can audio record it or ask for a question and answer session with your assessor. Don't forget to upload a copy of your own CPD log to your ePortfolio. Good luck with your assignment.